Be healthy, y'all, and good morning. Good morning to everyone out there in, can't say TV land, but you got the gist of it. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. It's appears to be a beautiful day. The temperature here in Inglewood is, like it's in the high 50s, and it doesn't appear that it's going to go a lot further than that. But anyway, we will make the best of whatever it is, and that's how we roll. Today is a it's a day that, as they say, will last into infamy. It because it's a beautiful day and it's a work day. We had one break, the first of the month. I mean, first of the week. We had the President's Day, and I took advantage of that to get some rest, relaxation, and then get right back to the grind. So we're grinding now. We're back into getting all of the things intact so that we could roll. We have lots to do here. We have people that are wanting to get their health together, and so we provide that impetus for them with our products, and we don't do a lot. We do a little counseling as well, not like we once did, where we did counseling in private quarters and all that kind of thing. It's just a lot of things going on now where it makes that not such an easy task. But we do have people come in and they speak their piece as to what's going on with them, or even those that call in, and we converse with them either over the phone or in person. So we're still counseling and helping folks to assisting them rather to get their health back on the right track, because it's not so good when you're suffering, or if your body is breaking down and you're concerned about it. But it's one of those things that we have to work on. And so putting the right things in the body at the right time, and that's how you can get the health back on track. And it's really well, I guess it's not such a, it's somewhat of a big deal and somewhat not so much. That people don't really understand their own bodies, and when they have a problem, don't know exactly what to do to start working at bringing it back into proper perspective, proper balance. Because balance is everything. And here, when we are talking about natural products, these are not pharmaceuticals where you can just throw a few things in there and bip bam and thank you ma'am and whatever. When it comes to the natural realm, we have to do things that work with the body, not against it, and it doesn't send shock to the body. It's if done right. That's why it's so important to learn how to detox your body, how to cleanse your system, whatever you want to call it. It means getting all of the debris out of the way so that you can have an easier road with to move down the track with your life. Especially what you're putting in your body is very important, and it's more important even when you are having some kind of malady and you are still attempting to put the same food in the body that created the situation. So that really doesn't make any sense. And so anytime that the first sign of a problem is when you should start, okay, I got to work on this. I don't want this to go any further. Because if you let it keep going, just keep going and going and going, it's just like anything else. It's like a, snowball going down a hill. It gets faster and faster. So it means it gets worse and worse. Stitch in time saves nine. A stitch in time saves nine. It's better to work on a situation ahead of time, really. Just say, okay, let's see, when did I have my last detox? Then if I don't know exactly when it was, it must be too long. So let me get in here and detox my body so I don't have a lot of things happening that I don't want to happen. And so we do that, and we do it and do it for the right period of time. You don't have to do it forever, but if you're a person who are doing things like that periodically, you can do it without having a lot of this. Well, I just want to do this, and we don't cheat. In other words, give the body a chance or give it a time with putting the natural plant-based nutritional things in there, and the enzymes and the vitamins, minerals, the things that are there to help build up the body. Give that a chance to work. And there are people who are doing it with great success. There are those who are not doing it and grumbling when you tell them what they need to do. But fortunately, there are those who just get right at it because they want to have a better life. And there's nothing really better than having a good health. Health is your wealth. If you have good health, you can have good wealth. You do have good wealth. We always look at wealth as being money or something along that line. But your health is your most important asset, because if you don't have it, you don't have it. And if you don't have it, you can't use it. Right? Right. Because if it's not there, it's not there. And so take time out from busy days and busy whatever you might be doing. Spend some time going through a general cleanse. A general cleanse is not the hardest thing to do. It's going to take you, it can be up to a month of working with your body. And it's not something you have to do every day. You should do it every day when you're in the process of cleansing. But it's not something that you would have to do on and on and on and on and on. Periodically, you go in and have a cleanse. This is how you keep the problems from, beginning, keep them from advancing to a situation where now you're in somebody's hospital or doctor's office trying to get something to fix whatever is ailing. The more we know about ourselves, better off we'll be. And it's not the hardest thing to do. There are books out there that you can read, books written by people years and years ago that still, the programming and the words in that book and whatever's in that, it still means what it's said at that point. It still will do the same thing for you if you follow it. But there are a lot of good books that give you direction into how to do this, how to do a liver cleanse, how to do a colon cleanse, how to do foot baths, how to do whatever the body needs. There are books that will share with you how to get started and how long you should work with it. All of that. That's very important. And so I encourage everyone to get on the bandwagon and start doing things that allow your body to have a good long ride on this highway of life, rather than every now and then you look out, you got flat tires on your train. You don't want that. You want to have whatever is in the body working properly, working with you, helping you to have a better life. You're having more joy in your life, on and on and on. So that's why it's important. It's important to, you know, do some cleansing at least at some level, every quarter. You do that. And if you're doing say a good general cleanse, you can do that for like a month and a half. And then when you finish that, if you're a person that, say for instance, you're overweight and you say, well, I want to lose some weight. Well, you get on this on this cleanse that's going to help you do that, as well as fortify your body, uplift the body, clean up the body, and get it back on a proper base, so that you don't have things that's popping up every day, and you're in and out of pharmaceutical places trying to get relief. I've seen too much of that in my life. People come in with problems and don't have a clue as to how it happened, and have no knowledge whatsoever as to how to start to correct it. And so when you don't know that, what do? Well, you go where you think you know, where you think they know. And there are a lot of things that happen in those particular cases. Some good things can happen, but when you count too much on artificial things, you're setting yourself up for something that you may not like. So learn how to eat to live, and not just live to eat. Because when you eat to live, you're doing what's right by the body, so you can keep going down that road of life and go into your later years, and just be around long enough to be a grandparent, a great grandparent. All of that's that makes this whole thing what it is, where we have people who are been around long enough for us to call them grandma and grandpa, and they see the babies, and that all it makes them feel good to see that they were here long enough to see that, because there were many that left prematurely, and in most instances there were accidents as well as incidents, but a lot of incidents happened where we just weren't taking care of the body. The body needs to be taken care of so it can keep you keeping on down the road. Keep on down, ease on down the road, as they say. So we talk a lot about health, because your health is your wealth. If you don't have health, you don't have wealth, and you're not going to be happy, because if you hurt, you hurt. It's very difficult to smile when you're through pain, as they say, trying to smile through pain. You'd rather do it just by, working with your body to give it what it needs, so that it can bring you that gleam of life back. And it's possible, folks. It's not the most difficult thing to do. But what it says is that you will take the time to address your body as a temple, because that's how you will keep it in good stead. You'll keep it working properly. If you feed it right, it'll act right. If you feed it the wrong things, it's going to break down, and you're going to be right in trouble again. So find out what nutrients you need in your body. Plant-based nutrition is the best. When you decide, and hopefully a lot of you will decide to get your health back, or just keep it from going in the wrong direction, get some good plant-based nutrition in there. Plant-based, not animal-based, plant-based, and help yourself to getting all of that stuff out of your body that is built up over a period of time. And as I said, people come here quite frequently, and we talk to them. We don't browbeat them. We talk to them, and add to their knowledge level if they're lacking a little bit. And the beauty of it all is when people come back and they tell you that, wow, I feel so much better. I feel so much better now. Then it's, well, make it a habit to do that every now and then. It doesn't have to be every day. Every day you need to, take good care of your body. But when it comes to, say, going through a cleanse for a month and a half, whatever it may take, and for some it has been longer. We've had people do up to 50. What was it? This one lady did. I think she did about 6 months because she was trying to lose 100 pounds, and she lost it. Unfortunately, at 2.5 years later, she had gained half of it back. But it just shows you if your attitude is right and your desire is right, you can make the rest right. So if you're a person who's, say, you're carrying around more weight than you know you should, because it's not a healthy thing, and you get involved in a good cleanse and do it seriously, so that you can change that environment in your body. Otherwise, the body is going to continue to break down, and malady will set all over, and you won't be a happy camper. So cleansing is, as they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. And so when your body is said to be a temple, it's the temple in which you dwell, and you need to take care of it. If you don't take care of it, who will? See, so it's one of those things. We either take care of it on this plane, or we will end up on a different plane. Stitching time saves 9. So you get to stitching. And find whether it's here with us at the Holistic Health Service or wherever, find a place where people are teaching you how to get a better quality of life, how to get on the right track. There are others who do these things as well. We're not by no means the only one. We've been at it quite a while, and there are others who've been at it for quite a while, and there are new people getting into the process. So it's time. You still have time if you still on board, and you're still breathing air. It's time to do something. I understand some folks are bedridden, and they may have a difficult time doing this, but it's still not impossible if you have someone that can work with you, can assist you, and start helping you to get these good plant-based things into your body, to detox your body, to get your health back. You can get it back. But if you are the person that you want to continue to eat all of the wrong stuff because you like it, then you are not working on getting your health back. You're working on continuing down the road that you've been on. And that road is not the high road. That's the low road. That's where you're heading into the ditch. And you don't want to do that. If you really love your life, take care of it. Take care of your life, and you'll have the life. If you don't take care of it, then there's suffering. And suffering, no one wants to suffer, but yet we find a lot of people that are already there. And, a lot of times they are reluctant to do the right things to turn it around. Well, they tell you what they don't like and what they like. And usually the don't likes are the things that they need most of the time. And what they like is what's caused them to be in the situation they're in. So, just as I say, get your mind right. Read a book, get several books. There are a lot of good books out there that tell you how to eat right, proper food combining, all of those things that are necessary to be healthy. And so it's not such a major thing that we can't do this, but we get caught up in stuff. We want to eat what we want to eat regardless, because a lot of us weren't trained, taught right, and so we just doing what we've always done. And then there are those who actually, maybe in school or somewhere, they meet up with someone who's doing a lot of natural things, and they're hanging out with them, and the next thing you know, they've come over, and there's nothing wrong with that, because they see this person that's eating healthy, and they may even share a little with them if they're hanging out with them. They're gonna get some talk from it, but there's nothing wrong with that, because that can help you to get on the right track, and then you may be blessed to do the same for someone else. Each one reach one, and each one teach one. We can do this. We can do this. This is not something so difficult that it can't be done. But see, if in your mind you say, well, I can't do that, then you've already sabotaged yourself. You just said, I can't do it. The can't is buried in Can's cemetery. And my mother, that's another one of my mother's sayings. Can't is buried in Can's cemetery. She never did want to hear you say, I can't do, mother, I can't do this, I can't do that. Can't doesn't live here. And she meant it. And she was a sweetheart. But she didn't have any problem with telling you what you need to do. And you did it, because you know what could come if you didn't. And my mother was not a mean person at all. She was a sweetheart. But she believed in, taking care of her children and doing what's right for them. And so she cooked a meal, you ate it. And if she cooked some cake, she wouldn't force that one on. Of course, we always wanted that, the cakes and the pies, along with everything else. And so life was good. And at that point as I was growing up, there was a good life. Worked hard because we're on a farm, and there's this work had to be done. So we did it. We shared it as the children grew in age, they got more involved, because we didn't all arrive at the same day. But as you got a little older, you found yourself, if it was cotton, you was picking it. If it was whatever it was, you were there. You didn't get to play hooky. You got to school. Now, they never kept us from going to school. My mother and father, they believed in you go to school, but when you come home, if there are things to do, you do it. And so that was life in Jenkinsville, at least at my house. And so I learned a lot from that. And as soon as I got away from home, I let a lot of it get away from me. It took me until the age of 36 to get back, after going through the military for I actually did active duty for 4 years, and then got in the reserves after that, and did more traveling while I was in the regular Navy. And then after that, at the age of 36, I fell in love with natural medicine, natural this, natural that. Just couldn't get enough. And I was seeking it, and I kept seeking, studying, and meeting people who were willing to share with you, getting into school and doing classes. All of that was going on after 36. So up until that point, I was a wild child after I got away from home. But God saved me for something. And so at that point of 36, I let all the bad stuff alone and started moving down the trail of life. Life begets life. And it's been a blessing, period. That's I don't know any other way to put it. It's been a blessing to me, and I've helped bless a lot of people. Traveled a lot. I've been places where I've never before, you know, getting involved with this, that I think I would ever go. But after that, I was all over the place. I was all over the planet, just about, and had a great time. Met good people. That's the thing about it. You meet folks that willing to share with you. They see that you have a quest for knowledge, and they just they give it up. They let you have it. They're not, I ain't gonna tell him that because I'm gonna keep it to myself. No, no, no. No, they were willing. I was willing to learn, and they were willing to teach. Because I sat through many a seminar, and as I learned, as I learned better, I started doing better. And once I hit the trail big time, I was north, south, east, west, and even out of the country. And I can remember some of those places just like it was yesterday. And it's been some days since I've been on the road like that. But it was a joyful thing. Learned a lot of people, shared a lot with people, and still get calls from people that I haven't seen in years, and some of them I don't even remember, but they remember me. See, if a person remembers you in a good way, that's good. But if they remember you because you were AH, as they say, that's not good. So live your life in a fashion that people will be, you know, looking forward to hearing you or seeing you, or they tell people about you. That's the way you want to do. That's the way you want to live your life. Live it to the fullest, but don't hurt anybody. Help whoever you can, but by all means, help yourself. If you learn how to do a thing well, then you can share that with somebody else. There's nothing out here that other than healthy things that we need to be concerned with. We need to stay all over. Anything that's going to deride your health, you don't need to be involved in it. If it's eating, make sure it's healthy. If it's playing, it's healthy. If it's working, it's for better health. See, so whatever you do, make it a positive thing, not something reckless abandon. We don't need that. We need really to stay grounded. Stay grounded. Keep your eyes open. And sometimes say keep your eyes open and your mouth shut for some time, but you can't keep your mouth shut all the time. Nobody know you're there. So you always, if you have something to say, make sure it's something that's going to make sense and something that may help somebody else along the way. See, we don't want to abuse anybody. You abuse them, you lose them. So if we can keep you smiling and keep your head above ground and keep moving down the path of righteousness, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So during this time, we have been doing a lot of people coming in and getting programs to work on their conditions, and we do what we can for them, and sometimes it gets a little tedious, keeping the stock up, for where we have things to provide the folks with, but we managed to get it done. We have to we have to give some young people some work so they come in and help, because a senior citizen now, a lot of those things I can't just can't do as I used to. So I look for those young folks who want to do something, provide them with some green, so that they never have to worry about me not treating them right. All I want them to do is do right by me. If you come in and work right, and it's going to be right back to you. So it's a long road from Jenkinsville to California, and as I say, I traveled it many times, and I look forward to doing it some more as soon as I get a few little things straightened out in my situation, that I will be able to roll again. Don't want to wait till I get to be too far up in the senior citizen status, because then you can't do much of anything. But if you keep your health up, keep your mind right, and work diligently to keep your cognition, then you can be here as long as you want to. It's that's the thing is to have a good quality of life and do some things that benefited others. Don't just be selfish and doing it for yourself. See, anytime you can lend a hand for someone, lend a hand. And I love people. I love even those who may not love me, because I don't know who doesn't. But people are my favorites, much more than animals. Not that I don't like animals, but I prefer people, because they're my species. And so whenever I have an opportunity to uplift someone or to lend a hand for something, I'm ready. I'm ready for you. I hope you're ready for me, because we are on a vigil here. We're on a path to getting some people well. And if they are willing to put the work in, then we'll be there to work with them, because there's nothing greater than to see someone's life change, and the fact that you may have had a little something to do with it. You don't go around saying, well, I did this, I did that. No, but the fact that you may have said one thing that got their attention, or maybe you pointed out a book that they decided to read, or just something that you told them about, and they actually went and checked it out. That can be an awesome thing, because if you are a people person, then you will always be doing something in the realm of people. There are people who like animals, and they do their time with animals, and I have nothing against animals. I don't eat them, but I have nothing against them. I did eat them at one time in my life. I grew up on a farm, remember, and there were chickens, there were geese and ducks, there were hogs, cows, and whatever, goats. There was some of everything, and as well as people, of course, we had to be there. But getting away from all of that at the age of 36 is when I started on my trek with the natural, because I met some good folks, and they taught me a lot, and I just kept going. I had this thirst for knowledge. I wanted to know more and more and more. So I would sit up in different seminars, and wherever I could find somewhere to go and listen to. And so that went on for years and years. The traveling that I did, there are places that I'll probably never go, not go again, but I've been to a lot of them in this country and out of this country, and met some nice people. That's the good part. I don't recall too many issues where somebody was upset. Every now and then, somebody will be, because they want to run everything, and when you were supposed to be in charge of what you're doing. But there was rare occasions that I had that kind of stuff come at me. Usually it was people were standing or crowding around trying to figure out how they could get more of you, or how they could get more out of you, because they wanted help. And plus, when you do a situation, when you put this in front of people and you share in knowledge and they can hear that it's making sense, then you'll draw a crowd. You'll draw a crowd like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're a person that's putting out some stuff that is not right, and you're telling people things that are not true, that's not good. And I always made it a point to, if I didn't have something positive for you, I didn't have anything for you. Find something that's positive, that's going to help this person, and not something that's just going to line your pockets with some green or some coin or whatever it might be. Because if you do right by the other person, your rewards will be there. And yes, there are times when you have to be careful, because there are those who try to take advantage of you. But I can truly say that did not happen too many times to me. It happened once or twice, because there are some people that just aren't honest. They try to get something for nothing. But most of the places I went, especially those that I went to numerous times, everybody was friendly. They just love to see you. Glad you came back. But you always have that fly in the soup. I thank God I didn't have a lot of them, but there were one or two there. So I don't dwell on that, because it was not part of a happy time. But there were some times there were just times I was in a hurry to get back to, and instead of in a hurry to get back to my base. But going to different companies, working with different companies, working with different churches, I did all of those things. I worked with churches, with synagogues, with schools. Just wherever I was invited, I'm try to make it a plan to be there. And so that's how I did a lot of traveling. East Coast, West Coast, South, out of the country, North. It was, as they say, living the life of Riley. I don't know if it was Riley, but I was enjoying myself, because people wanted to see you. They look forward to your showing up again. How can you beat that? If it's you, somebody who they don't want to see, that's a problem. But if these were folks that, they were just glad to see, when you coming back? When will you be back? And there are those that I went to numerous times, and there's some I only went to once. But wherever it was, I don't recall anything bad at any time that I was there. So God had my back, and some of the people who were there, they also had my back, because they wouldn't let anybody get it, get out of tilt on you. They just they worked with you, and it just, some of the people that it pops into my head when I start talking about them, like when I went to Louisiana, or when I was in South Carolina, where I grew up, in Georgia, in Philadelphia, Maryland, Canada, all of the different places, East Coast, West Coast, uh, here and there, as they say, to and fro, back and forth. It was a life that I enjoyed. And the fact that I had to kind of slow it down after I got the problem with my vision, and I'm working diligently to get that back so I can maybe get a few more trips in before it's time for me to sit down. Because as you grow older, your things change a bit. But if you take proper care of your body, it won't change so drastically. But there are some things that happen, and we worked to get it back in the proper perspective, the proper health, so that we can do it again like we used to. And I really enjoyed myself. And I get calls from people today that I haven't seen in years, and some of them I don't even remember. There are those who you do remember because they were there in your face most of the time. They made sure you knew they were there, and so it's hard to you to not remember a person like that. And because we get calls now. I'm not doing the traveling at this point, but we get called from people on the East Coast, West Coast, South, all over, and it's been a great trip. I'm glad I was able to make a lot of the places where I went, because they just weren't. It wasn't just ordinary places. There were a lot of places that I went that. When I went to Spain the first time, that was really something, because that was early on in my days of being a holistic doctor. And since that, a lot of other places, and places where I used to drive to them, from here, driving from California to South Carolina, which I did many a times. I would stop on people that had relatives on the way, or friends that I'd met on the way, and you pop in and let them know, hey, I'm running by. I'll come and say hi, wave, shake your hand, and keep moving. But that was what it was about. It was about doing things that made a difference, and that's what we do right now. We're still doing things that make a difference, and I just pray to God that I'm allowed to do this until I'm ready to stop, and not because something causes me to stop. It has slowed me up, because this partial vision thing can slow you up, but it can't stop you. But it makes it a little bit different. It makes it a little more difficult. But where there's a will, there's a way. And I will keep doing it as long as I can do it. And with a little bit, with some help from the master, and from some good herbs, and to correct some of your issues. See, so that's what's out there, and that's what I'm praying for. That this is not for me to be, just in one place. And even though I'm working here to help the people that show up, but I would still like to be able to be where I can move around and see others, and take this message to those who are open to it. Because it's the life that I live is the life that I love. And I love helping people. It's as long as, and not, they're not always the nicest to be around. Sometimes folks get upset at you for whatever reason, but I'm not upset at anybody, and hopefully that will remain. My goal now is to help whoever I can and continue to work on me so I can continue to do what I do. And that's, as they say, that's the bottom line. Because if you're not happy in what you're doing, or if you're not full of joy, then you need to find something else to do. So I love what I do. It's just that when things get a little tedious, or when, you know, products don't come in right, or whatever, you get a little itchy, but you just say, well, we don't have that right now, but we'll have it in a day or two. And we just ask people to be patient. We're working diligently to make it better for all of us. So don't beat me up because, we run short of a little something, because a lot of those things that I used to do, as that song would say, things I used to do, Lord, I can't do no more. Well, some of that's true, because if you can't see them all and read them all, then you're not going to, there's some things you're going to miss. So what do? You get you a new pair of eyes. Get someone that's willing to be trained, and when they're trained, they're willing to work, and you make them part of the plan. And so that's what we do. We're looking, we want this to continue as long as it can continue. And there's so much going on, because notice I didn't talk once this morning about COVID, this and that and the other, and all these things that they're talking about and throwing out there, because I just decided I wanted to talk about other things, talk about things much more pleasant, because we've been bombarded with that. And I still think it's the biggest boondoggle ever. It's just, I mean, there's just too many lies, and not nearly enough truth. So that's my spiel on that one. Other than that, life is good, and we have people coming in that need help, and we work very hard to keep things that they're asking for. Sometimes, like I say, sometimes you fall short, because you can run out of things, especially when someone comes in and wants 5 of this, and 5 bottles of this, and you don't have the whole 5 at the time, but you get it. And just hopefully they don't come in every time wanting 5 and you don't have it. But we work, we do what we can to keep things going. It's got some positive young help, and we're gonna make this, as they say, we're gonna make this thing work. It's been working. Why should it stop? We just keep on going down the path, because there are people waiting. There are people that are waiting for help. There are some who haven't even called yet. There are those who come, they do theirs through the internet, and we have to pack up the packages for them and get them out. So we're actively involved in life. And that's about how you can put it. We're actively involved in life, and so any little minor handicap that I may have is not going to stop me from doing what I do. It just slows me up, and it has me, I have to get somebody, to pitch in. That's all you need. You just need a little help meet, someone who's willing to step in and see that certain things are done, and the flow goes. Is every now and then, as I say, we have a shortage of something, but as soon as possible, we get right back at it, so we know it can we can satisfy the people who show up. Because it's not good if you just, don't have things when people need them. But we're working hard to assist those who want help. So bear with us. Bear with us, rather, if we don't have what you want, and one day we'll get it sooner or later, and sooner than later. But we appreciate all of the people who come here. We appreciate those who call and order. And we are doing the best we can to keep things going for you. And see, a lot of the things that things are happening the way that they're happening is because of all of the tracing and tracking that I did around the country and out of the country, because there are a lot of people who still remember, and they call and they want to buy things, and we ship it to them. So the beat goes on. The beat goes on. And so we're getting close to the end of our talk this morning, and this was more of I would say, a fireside chat than it wasn't. It's just that I felt like sharing those different things, and to let you know that my heart is still in doing what I've done the past 40 plus years, because I was able to help people. I was able to help myself, and we're still at it. We're still moving down Gabriel's ladder. We are climbing Gabriel's ladder, the thing, but we might not be climbing high these days, but we're climbing. We are climbing Jacob's ladder, soldiers of the cross. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's 9:59. Time for me to change stations and say, I hope everyone had a wonderful day. I hope something I said will rest on your body and make you do something to help yourself. Peace and love for all.
All love.